Rip Eve. Dad is an absolute troll, right? I gotta say this, right? And this is actually a perfect transition into some Invincible season 3 talk. So Dan posted in my Discord last week, or when the episode aired. I think it aired on the Thursday. Now
Mhm.
I was working, so I don't get to watch it until like Thursday evening, but it came out on like Thursday morning my time. And he put up something on my Discord and was like, it was a picture of Eve like with Conquest fucking fist through her chest. And I was just like, oh, I was like, no, I was like the fucking spoiler. Because I remember last week he wrote this in the chat as well. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna ignore this, but I'm hoping he's not actually spoiling something for me here. But yeah, so basically put that in the thing. I had seen it before I watched the episode, and I was just like, fuck, I wish he marked it as a spoiler because I wouldn't have looked at it if it was like, Invincible spoiler and then it was grayed out. I wouldn't have clicked it until I watched the episode. So I
Mhm.
was kind of pissed. I'll be real. I was kind of pissed that it happened, and then I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna watch the episode anyway, because like I know I've seen other bits with like panels of her from comic books where it's like she's old and she's in the future and stuff like that. So I'm like, maybe she's not dead. I'm like, maybe I'm being played here, or they find a different version of her or some shit from the multiverse. And then obviously, we see her getting revived in the episode. But yeah, I got a good laugh out of that because I was like, you motherfucker trolled me in my own Discord. um, yeah, what did you think of the finale of
Oh, the
Invincible?
finale was fantastic. Like voiced by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, that was
So
fan
nice.
fucking tastic.
Yeah, so nice,
So
bro.
good.
I love Jeffrey, man. He's such a legend. There was a bit of a discussion on my Discord about the show, and one of the guys in the chat was saying, maybe they're kind of sacrificing some of the animation to get these like top tier actors in to do voice work. And as a big anime fan, what's your opinion on that? Like, would you prefer to have nobody voice actors and better animation, or do you like having Jeffrey Dean Morgan showing up and like all these like big actors? Like this show's got a lot of big actors in it. Like a lot of Hollywood people are in this show, and you know, me personally, like I love hearing the voices and I love like knowing actors, and Aaron Paul was in it, and all like pretty much everyone in the show is a big actor, a big TV actor, and so on. Like, do you think? Because I know a lot of anime like just uses like kind of nobodies or whatever, and then they kind of
Uh,
just rely on the story for
I mean,
more part.
it depends on what you're saying, like in terms of nobodies.
Well,
Um,
I don't mean like big in the anime world. I mean like actual celebrities.
oh man, I mean in the U.S. maybe, but like
Mainstream celebrities. I'm not trying to offend anybody here. I'm just saying.
there's some
Like
there's
I
some
don't know if
fucking famous ass voice actors that come in on animes, man, and it's so good.
I yeah, I'll take your word for it. I do agree with you, but you
Did
understand the
okay.
point I'm trying to make.
Right, but let me give you an example. So, did you ever watch, like Howl's Moving Castle?
No,
No? Christian
never.
Bale was like Howl, like Christian Bale.
That's
The
cool.
boy in the Heron, I think it had Robert Pattinson in it. It had like a handful of people. Like I would have the list if possible, but like literally known actors that are in a lot of Studio Ghibli movies
That's
because
cool.
they're like well received, they're well loved, and like they know that it'll get butts and seats.
Yeah,
Um, when it comes to like animes, it's a bit different because like in shows, it's very hard to convey that. It's more so that they give maybe roles to some people that they think will fit well for that. And they do well enough, and then they become well known. So it's very
yeah,
much akin to like the original Star Wars situation, where it's like they become up and coming, and then you get into like the Japanese voice acting, which like you get some of the newbies here and there, but then you have these like seasoned people, like seasoned voice actors, like the voice actor for Zoro is also a voice actor in like Fire Force. Like it just kind of interchangeable. You'll hear some characters from different shows moving over to different like to others, and you'll like recognize them. So like I would say that Japanese voice actors are more commonly reused than it
yeah,
is in American voice acting, because with American voice acting they feel like they need to always have somebody different.
yeah,
So it's a really hard thing to gauge, but like in terms of like celebrities, depending on what kind of story they're about to tell, it might require the use of a seasoned celebrity that has like well-known voice acting, or has maybe done a little bit of voice acting here and there.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed like, Christian Bale to do any sort of voice acting, but like when he was in Howl, like it was so well received. It's like a really good movie. You should really check it out. Howl's Moving Castle, like very, very like well flowing and whatnot, like Spirited Away. I think there were a couple that had some notable voice actors. So like it's really like that's a hard one to kind of gauge. But like if you were to think about it in terms of animation, it's not a bad idea to use a celebrity if you know that they've had a good like resume.
Yeah.
So like someone like Jeffrey D. Morgan, like he's very well known, like with his voice, he's got a good sense of like acting on his shoulders. Like if you put Johnny Depp into anything, like it should convey the same way, if even if he's voice acting, because he has that kind of like spin on his end. He can do he can do what he can to like adapt to things. You put Charlize Theron, you should put like like anybody, essentially anybody that you think is like could do voice acting, they probably have done it.
Yeah.
Like Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is a great example. He's been in a lot of animations. He's been in video games. He's been in a lot of things. So like, in terms of reusability, ours is on a wider scale, in my opinion, than it is, maybe in the Japanese sense. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But like,
Yeah.
it's hard to tell. But it really is just like I don't know. Do you like, if you know that it's going to be like a hit story, you probably want like some of the best voices in the show, right? Some
I
notable.
Yeah, I think so, but I suppose what I'm trying to get at is like, are Amazon potentially like making a mistake by like hiring so many like A-list celebrities to do you think they're taking money that could potentially go to animation out of the budget for voice acting? Or
Not necessarily. Like if you like Steven Yeun, does an amazing job playing Invincible. That
right,
whole the dialogue between him and Jeffrey D. Morgan as Conquest, like at the end of like near the end of the episode as well, the whole like, I see your future. You don't live to see tomorrow, and like Stephen
yeah, it was
Yeun
sick.
delivers that beautiful.
So
At that
good.
point, I don't even care about the animation. I just want to hear them have this conversation and talk it through, and like, give me like convey that feeling like, oh shit, like it's gonna go crazy. And even then, like the animation wasn't even that bad. Like during that whole situation, like it was so good.
It was, it was. I thought when I was watching, I was like, okay, this is where the animation budget seems to have gone. It all went into the finale, which I suppose there's nothing wrong with that because obviously it paid off like
Hmm.
tenfold. That I was looking after I watched the episode, I went on to IMDb. It was sitting on a 9.9 out of 10 with like 50,000 votes. Like that could be the highest rated thing that I've ever seen on IMDb. Like it's insane.
It's really good.
That's how well received that episode was. It was absolutely incredible, like fantastic. And again, to kind of like rehash what we said earlier, like I sat and watched that and I thought, fuck, I want the next episode so badly. Like I just wish we could have more like right now. And obviously, I know we're not seeing new episodes until 2026, which is heartbreaking. But
Mhm.
oh, so good, man, so good. I might go back and like start the show again and just rewatch it. But
Oh
like
yeah,
I'll probably do a rewatch before the show comes back. It's so good.
I
So good.
would.
Yeah.
I definitely. I'm trying to get Katie to watch it, but she's just not a fan of like all the gore and blood. So it's
Yeah, I don't think that's like I don't think it's a serious thing in this show. Like she obviously she wouldn't watch The Boys or anything, would she? That'd have to be
Oh
like
no,
50
she'll
times
watch The
worse.
Boys.
That's crazy because The Boys is the actual gore. Like that's
It's
wild.
I would say like it's a lot like a lot harsher in animations.
I would I would be the opposite. Like when I see like Homelander like pulling people's actual guts out, I that's like in my face, whereas like animation, I don't even think twice about it. It's just drawings, and like I don't know, maybe it's just I'm years of desensitized reading comic books and stuff or something. I don't know what it is, but like it doesn't hit me with the shock factor at all. Like this
Hmm.
show does have shock factor in it. Like I'll never forget watching the first episode of the show and seeing like Omni Man like just destroying like all the league and everything, like, and or the Guardians or whatever they call them. Like
Mhm.
that was a shock. Like, you know, and I think that was obviously the purpose of that scene. It was to like shock people and go, wow, I'm going to watch more of this. But yeah, I don't. I never think to myself now. Maybe after 3 seasons of the show, anyway, I'm completely desensitized to violence in that show. Completely.
Yeah, I could see that. It's I think it's more so on the lines of like she hasn't really experienced like the positives of that show yet. Like
Yeah.
I showed her I think the first episode, and I think I tried to get her to watch the second episode, and she immediately stopped.
I was gonna say
And
all you got to do is get her to watch episode one, but if she's watched episode one and didn't like it or something, that's interesting.
uh it's mainly because it's mainly because at the very end it was just nothing but blood and gore, and she was like,
Yeah,
"Ah, I don't fucking know," like, but it's I guess it's different depending on like who you have portraying. And I keep telling her like it's fucking it's J.K. Simmons. Like,
yeah,
he's a
King,
fantastic actor. Like, amazing like work, great voice acting. Like, it just really like he puts
so good,
himself out there really well. And
so good.
I don't know. Maybe she was just like put off by the fact that like she just saw someone's head explode and like some
Yeah,
eyes popping out and whatnot. And like I said, and maybe to each their own, but I would say animation is way more brutal when it comes to gore because they can.
hmm
Whereas like with live action, you either have to do props or you have to do CG, and CG will make it look like shit.
yeah. I think it's expensive either way with live action, and you know, obviously, there's a much more um like traumatic, I suppose, kind of view of it in a lot of senses. Like, you know, it's going to probably disturb more people in live
Mhm.
action than it would in animation anyway. So, you know, you run the risk of that, of all that sort of stuff, and then the ratings are probably going to be higher in live action if you have, you know, people's skulls popping, whereas in animation you can probably do it a lot easier, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um. Yo, what's up? We are live on Twitch right now, by the way. What's up, Ali? How are you? R.I.P. Oliver. This is a different Oliver. I think we're talking about Oliver in Invincible. um, Dan, if you could hear us, I'm just curious, because I know you're a big Invincible fan. You've read all the comics and stuff. Like, what did you think of the finale? Was it everything you hoped for, reading the books, and did they do a good job adapting page to screen? I'd be curious of your opinion on it. Um, Oh, like yeah, like I think even the episode before was the one with all the marks, wasn't it? The multiverse episode.
Yeah, the multiverse.
Oh, what a back to back, bro! Like wow, like two almost perfect episodes. I think I saw that was sitting on like a 9.8 with like 100,000 votes. Like again, absolutely sensational
Mhm.
scores, and then you know finale gets a 9.9. Like what a back to back 2 week run for Amazon there. Jesus Christ, and like Amazon as well. Like they've got Reacher coming out at the moment as well, which is just an insane fucking success. They released some like streaming numbers for that show, like 57 million views, like in the first week or something like that for season three. And you know, like just to put that into perspective, like in the first like 5 days of Daredevil episode one, they had only did like 7.5 million, whereas this is doing like 57 million. Like the numbers of people watching Reacher is crazy. So like Amazon are just like hitting home runs left and right. It's insane. And for some reason, Disney Plus are just losing subscribers left and right, and they just can't get people to watch their shows. It's fucking wild. Like honestly, it's something that I think will be studied in years to come. Like you have a show that was like so fucking popular, like Daredevil, and it just they can't get the numbers. I don't know what it is. Like it's wild. I don't understand it.
They they thought that they had the fan base, and they came to the realization that they can't keep everyone just because it's under the moniker of Disney.
Yeah, yeah. I,
And
I
just
think people
because
are
it's
sick
under
of
the
it.
yeah, just because it's under the moniker of Marvel, like you can't just throw that at people and say, "Ah, you'll like it. It's Disney, it's Marvel." Like it's like, "No, I want a good show."
They had that
And
run. They did have that run, like with like phase three, like phase two and three of the MCU was just like banger, 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 like 3 movies a year, all like billion-dollar movies, like they couldn't lose. And then it's
mhm,
like phase four comes out and they introduce Disney Plus and they start filling us full of like shit TV and mediocre movies and you know new origin stories of characters nobody gives a shit about. And then it's I presume the normal person is just fed up now. So they're probably just like, yeah, I'm not going to bother watching the fucking 16th Disney Plus MCU show that's come out that I don't give a fuck about. I can't
Right.
remember. I was talking to somebody about, uh, oh yeah, there's a guy who goes to my gym. He's a trainer in my gym. He might be listening to this, by the way. I don't know. But he was saying to me that he watched Captain America 4 on the big screen, but he didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the TV show. So he's sitting in the big screen going, "Oh, Sam's Captain America now, and he has the shield, and he's got a new suit and everything." Like you didn't even know, like that's where that's but like he'd be like he's a big anime nerd. He's I would say a big nerd in general, but even like someone like him has fallen off the MCU
Right.
because that's how bad it's been over the last couple of years.
It's
So
not on his radar anymore.
yeah, they've no one to blame but themselves, really, I suppose. But yeah, it's just sad to see, man, because like again, we were at the peak of comic entertainment, and it just feels like a show like Daredevil, like again on the lead up to it, I was just like, even if the show's half as good as it was as the Netflix show, it's going to be the biggest show on Disney Plus, and I don't even think it's hitting number one in the top 10 in Ireland right now, which is fucking crazy to me. Like, I just don't understand it because the show is good. The show's good. Like episodes are scoring high eights, early nines, and they're all
Mm.
deserved. They're all deserving scores. I don't think people are like botting the fucking views or like the ratings or anything like that. I think it's all genuine and it's deserved. But the eyeballs just aren't on it like they should be, and like I'm presuming like Disney had hoped they would be. But maybe word of mouth will spread, and when it's all said and done, and people like sit back and go, "That was fucking great." It wasn't as good as the Netflix one, but it was fucking good. Then I
Mm.
think a lot of people might go, "Okay, I'll watch it now." Maybe that's what people are waiting for. It'll just be a binge when the 9 episodes are out, and because maybe they want to view it like that, like they did with the Netflix show. I don't know. Dan's commentary, the end was great, and it was so close to the comics. Like, take notes, please, Disney. Take notes, fucking DC. Like everybody, like what I mean. Like it's like we've been. I'm red in the face from saying this shit over the years on this podcast, but it's like you have 85 years of source material there in comic books. Like, just fucking use it. It's right there. The blueprints are there in front of you. The cheat codes are there. Just fucking put them in. It's
And
crazy.
little tweaks here and there aren't going to
Yeah,
really it's not going to
modernize
break the
them.
bank.
Yeah, modernize them. Put your own little twist on them, but like the blueprints are there, like the foundations are there for all these like fantastic storylines. And yeah, I don't know, they just seem to not be doing it at the moment. And I maybe they're course correcting. I don't know, but we'll see. I suppose we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, what did you have anything else on Invincible that you wanted to kind of talk about in the finale or anything?
Um, Not necessarily. Just that like it really did show like how powerful like some of these Viltrumites are, and how powerful like a Viltrumite can be just by being completely heartless. So like if you were to look at like what Conquest has like talked about, basically he was a very lonely person, but like so incredibly powerful. And the only reason why he became more powerful is because basically he got to do whatever he
Time.
wanted, and because they feared him and they didn't want to like fuck with this flow apparently. Like they were just like, you do what you got to do, man. We'll send you out. If you want to kill a bunch of people, that's fine, but we're not going to hang with that. We're not going to hang out
Yeah.
with you at the table.
Yeah, he's just like a fucking like seasoned war vet who's just seen it all, and with each world that he's destroyed has gotten even more powerful, and just in that sense has just been alive for hundreds of years, and alone and bored. And yeah, I felt kind of felt sorry for him, to be honest, and I suppose that's how good the fucking telling of it was, that like a complete monster you're feeling sympathetic towards. Like, so again, just fantastic storytelling. My main kind of pull away from from the season anyway was just like, holy shit, is Eve like the most powerful thing ever? Like, is she invincible now? Is she invincible too? Like, it's like, is she now like immortal as well? Like, she can't die. Like, they were kind of mentioning that some of her abilities were locked away in her mind for her own good, kind of like a Jean Grey kind of style shit with the Phoenix. And I'm like, okay, I kind of I respect the vibe of where you're going with this, and I presume she's going to maybe start to unlock more powers and maybe learn that she's immortal. Again, I've seen a couple of um, panels from comics that have kind of shown her in the future where she's, at Mark's side, and he seems to be like, the king of Earth sort of thing, or of a different planet or some shit. I don't know exactly. Know. Again, I can't, I don't know the story, so I'm just kind of putting pictures together, but it's in it like I wonder, is that actually going to happen, or is this like alternate timeline views, or who knows, like, but I think the possibilities are there that she can survive for hundreds of years, so that's interesting to me. It's a terrifying thought that someone like Mark has to live his life on Earth, and every single person that he knows, his mother, his family, potentially Eve, like, or his girlfriend or at the time, whatever, they're all going to just die, and he's just going to be left by himself. And like, I think that's what Omni Man kind of says to him. It's like, what do you get attached to these like ants for? Like, they're going to be dead, and you're going to live a lot. You're going to live lifetimes over and over again. They're going to just be dust, So it kind of makes the dynamic with the two of them even better, in my opinion, because like, if she is potentially immortal now, like, at least there's that security there that they can have a relationship and stay together and
Mhm.
build an empire together or whatever. So like, I'm curious to see where that goes. It might never go anywhere, but I'm definitely curious.
Well, I mean, even Mark said it at the end of that like conversation. It's like, what do you think you'll have left then, Mark? And he's like, I'd still have you.
Yeah,
So like, it's not like he's going to be alone forever. It's just the people that that he joins with who can live with him. And even if he doesn't get that full time, like he understands, like from his human side, like at least I get to experience that.
yeah,
And
facts.
that's, but like, immortal seems to be like fucked in the head, like I can't die.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he seems to be like, I love that futuristic episode was great as well. Like, where they went to the future, and he's been driven. He's like the Mad King, just been alive for hundreds of years and left in solitude, and just he's had like 10 wives, and created 10 families, but it's still not good enough, and he just has just lost it. And I think that's
Mhm.
what would happen if you were in that circumstance, because you everything just keeps dying around you, and you just have to keep resetting. It's a scary concept,
Yep.
very much so. It's
But
cool.
I mean, you know, then we get to see all the new iterations of like PlayStation and
Yeah, yeah,
Xbox.
yeah. PS fucking 50. Oh, I remember PS1. Yeah, that's crazy. Hey guys, this is Finto. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe and like, and let us know in the comments what you think below. See you in the next one. Bye bye.